What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a really good back and forth duel for you guys to check out. We got the Mech Knights up at the top, probably going to be the Chase archetype coming out of Extreme Force next month in February. I'm not sure that anybody's really excited about the teen angles, so I think everybody's attention will be focused on Mech Knights. They might not be top 3 as I originally thought. Maybe maybe I was a little overzealous there, but I definitely think they'll be like top 10. Then we got Nimble Frogs down here at the bottom, and I'm telling you, man, this deck definitely has some plays, especially considering if you look at the last maybe 3 months of Yu-Gi-Oh! We've gotten some really good Link monsters that this deck could go into, because before it was pretty much just Totally Awesome was like your only play, but now you have Missed Our Boy, you got the new Mermaid Link monster, so there are actually some possibilities there, and he's going first, so he probably has some good plays here. And he's going to drop that Nimble Angler in the grave. That's going to allow him to get 2 copies of Sunfish. At the same time, resolve his Swap Frog. He's going to summon Beaver. That's going to get him a monster from the graveyard. Angler comes back. Now, look, I don't necessarily agree with what he did here. I think going for the Mermaid Link is fine. Maybe I would have went for Missed Our Boy. It's whatever. Like, I guess it's okay. But I don't really think that, like, Crumble Logos does anything for him. I don't get why he didn't go into Totally Awesome. Totally Awesome here, especially backed up with a Lost Win, would have been super good. Don't get me wrong. The Mech Knight guy has a Kaiju in his hand, so it's not like he can't just Kaiju it anyways. But, like, in general, I probably would have went for Totally Awesome, but whatever. He's going to summon Lavender Disc. He's just going to banish it to get a search. Azure Blue is going to get hit with Lost Winds. I think he's going to go trade-in now. Yeah, trade-in looks pretty good. Gonna go for Alistair. He has another trade-in target in his hand as you do another Kaiju, and it's looking pretty good as he's gonna throw down that Merkaba, put the Alistair back in his hand. He's gonna Kaiju. He's gonna go ahead and attack, and I think he's going to negate the Nimbler Sunfish, or the Nimble Sunfish, so that's not gonna resolve. And I think he did use Alistair in the damage step. So anyways, he's gonna get hit with Lost Wind. Missed Our Boy's coming out, and now is when he's gonna drop that Totally Awesome, which is still a really strong card. And this is where I was like, man, I think he's in a bad position, but it's a really good top deck as he top decks Alistair. So, you know, he has another monster that is basically live. Azure Sky or Blue Sky is going to come down. He's going to, this is an interesting interaction, right? So Totally Awesome was going to negate Blue Sky, but then he actually ended up tributing it or banishing it for Lavender Disc, which means that it obviously won't die. So it's actually a nice little way to, you know, kind of cuck the Totally Awesome there. Now he's going to summon another copy of Merkaba. And this is, which one is this? Cobalt Depths. This is the one that can move to, it can move it can move a Mech Knight to a different column, if I'm not mistaken. So he activates Key, which is going to give a monster to his hand, and this is also a card that negates trap cards if they're in the same column, column as a Mech Knight on the field. So you can kind of like rearrange your Mech Knights and make it so that you always have a column in that field. So goes back to the well, goes for pretty much the same exact play he had last time, and he's gonna set a Ronin, or he's gonna summon Ronin as well. I do not agree with this, especially because you had the Dude Frog. He negates the first card played, the Magical Meltdown, which really just bites him in the butt. You see him try to activate the Reckless Greed, but nope, he's in the same column now, so Reckless Greed is not going to resolve. He's going to throw down that Azure Sky, and now he can just go for Alistair, and had he had his Totally Awesome negate, he might have been okay. You see that he is constantly using Spellbook of Knowledge, man. He is just digging through his deck. I have grown, like, I have so much more respect for this card. If you guys don't know about the Jack Knights of the World Scar, this card is so good. Not only can this thing be untargetable, but if there is not another card in this card, like if there is not a card in this card's column, it can actually attack you, attack your opponent directly, and it does have 3,000 attack, dude. You don't want to be attacked directly for 3,000. This card is incredibly difficult to kill. You got to summon something like Borlo to get rid of it. So he's gonna get a Kaiju. That's fine. But I think at this point, you're going to see the offensive explosion. He goes for Rajin because I don't think he has any Merkabas left. And ultimately, he ends up winning the duel. If I'm not mistaken, I think that the Mech Knight Link monster can't be destroyed by card effects as well. Maybe I know it can't be targeted if there are no monsters that point to it. Oh, I can't navigate a mouse. Oh my goodness. Let me just see right quick. Can be destroyed by card effects. That's what I thought too. So yeah, this is actually a really difficult card to kill. If you can just have a little ounce of protection, like have this thing backed up with a Solemn, your opponent is going to struggle because a lot of things can't attack over it. And even if your opponent does happen to get like Borreload, they still do have to attack because you know, under a lot of circumstances, he can't actually end up being targeted. So they basically have to go for the Borreload Snatch Steal effect, and you might be able to hit him with a Mirror Force or something like that. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the duel. Thank you guys for watching. As always, leave a comment if you did. Subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.